Hello YouTube, this is You Could Do It Dave. So I've changed the engine oil and I've changed the hydraulic oil and I've added an oil filter. The next thing I need to do is I need to install some electrical items. So the first one I'm going to be installing is a voltage display. Okay, so I know what the battery voltage is. So if the battery voltage on the machine drops too low, I can turn the fans off. I can keep an eye on the voltage. Okay, so we got the wire here. We got the voltage. I have to get that installed. Okay, the next thing on the list is an hour meter, a digital hour meter. Okay. It comes with a full set of instructions, and it's the type that wraps around the spark plug. So whenever you turn the machine on, and it actually runs. So that's an upgrade. Okay, that's also on the list. And then I also have a couple of 7-inch fans. Now, let's see what we got inside here. Looks like we got some rubber pads, some push-in pins. Oh yeah, there's some discs here that's notch on it, go onto the notches, and it squeezes it together. We got 4 springs, so we can spring mount it. And it looks like we've got some screw brackets. Screw them on and it'll hold the fan. So. And there you have your 12-volt, 80-watt fan. Yeah. So now I have 2 of these guys ready to go. So I've got the fans to install, I've got the hour meter, I've got the power, the voltage monitor, and I also have a couple of disconnects, but that'll be down the road a little ways. Okay, so I'm just out here installing this fan in the little excavator. Okay, and one thing I'm noticing is on each side there's a bolt sticking out. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it over here. And I was worried that if you're not careful, you'll have the fan sitting on that bolt, so when you start it up, it'll break the blades. Well, turns out that if you use these little springs on the zip ties, the springs hold it just far enough away that it doesn't touch the bolt. So now my machine has this black tape wrapped harness coming off the wiring harness. Okay, and what's nice is turn the key on and it runs off the light. Yeah, so now I'm going to try it with one fan and see what the hydraulic oil temperature does. And I might just have to put another fan over on this side. Have them both blowing in across the engine and hopefully out the back. So I've had a few things jump out at me while working with this little mini excavator. And the first one I noticed, after working with this thing for like 10-15 hours, my little pressure gauge here is gone. Okay, the little black arrow is pointing at like 70 psi and it's broken off. Okay, the P551551, I've gone to the store to my hydraulics guys and I got a Parker 921999. Hopefully that will fit. Okay, we'll give that a try. And I'm upping the game here with, if I can get it open, that there, and it is a 160 psi gauge, and we'll see if we blow that one up. So one of the good things about having this oil filter attached by this long bolt and just hanging in there is that I can take the whole unit and lift it out to get to it. So that kind of works good. Okay, so we'll start this excavator up and we'll see how this oil filter and meter work. Okay, so we were at 2 psi and I didn't see any leaks or drips, so I'm going to leave that like it is. Okay, and we'll see if we blow that one up. And to be honest, I don't know why we blew up the other one. The Princess Auto website for this head says it's set at a bypass of 25 psi, which is way below that other one. Now the guy at the hydraulic store says I might have a blockage or a plug in there and that's what caused it to suddenly spike, but we'll give this one a try and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm on hour number 23 and I got this thing stuck in the hole. Well, trying to start it and stop it and start it and stop it. Well, this thing comes loose just like that, and when that comes loose the key spins. So to fix that, all I did was tighten that down and now it starts again. So I don't need a new ignition yet, but that's on the list. And then I just got off it now and this thing popped off. So now I got to thread that back on just like that, and make sure that this screw top here doesn't come off on you. Always give it a little turn and see if it's loose. But other than that, so far it's a good little machine. Okay, so still trying to put this thing back on here, and I noticed that this is loose. So if you screw that all the way up, and you screw that all the way down, and you push on this little thing, that pops up. So we'll give that a try. Okay, so I'm looking at this throttle handle. I've got it screwed down. After 4 or 5 tries, try not to cross thread it or you are in trouble. I screwed this piece all the way down in. Like it really goes down in there, but it still works. So now, I guess that's your adjustment. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave that down as far as it'll go. Give it a torque. Yeah. Okay, so that's an easy fix. That I don't have to replace yet. Okay. So there was a slight change of plans in regards to this this hour meter. Okay, on the excavator, the hour meter is still working fairly decent. And this tracked wheelbarrow does not come with an hour meter. So I put the hour meter on the wheelbarrow. Now, let's start it up and see if it works. And the only thing I find wrong with this power wheelbarrow is this kill switch here, which mounts right on here, is really loose. So I'm going to have to monkey around with this and try and fix it. But we got that turned on. Now, if all goes well with this meter, that thing there should flash when the engine's running. So let's give her a try. Turn her on. Say that works. So the power wheelbarrow now has an hour meter, and yes, it has a license plate. Okay, so now both my pieces of equipment have hour meters. That's good. Okay, so about the only thing I have not installed yet is the voltage meter, and with only one fan running, this thing got up to about 120 degrees for the hydraulic fluid after about 5 hours in the really hot sun. Running non-stop, hot sun, about 120 degrees with the fan running. I can live with that. Now, there are some comments out there that, oh, it's too hot, too hot. Well, it still runs. It's good enough for me, okay? Got the fan installed. I got the hour meter on the wheelbarrow. I got the new filter, the new gauge. And let's see here. Yeah. So that's the update for right now. And we'll see how she goes. So the excavator does have a license plate. Okay. Problem is, I was doing some digging and I got a little close to the dirt. Kind of beat it up a bit, so I'm going to have to 3D print another one, peel that one off or rip that one off and put it back on. But I will say that building a hobbit home, I have a lot of jobs lined up and not very much time to do them in. That being said, I would really like to rip this thing open sometime. I might drain some of the oil out of it, rip this thing open and see what it captured from the excavator. Okay, I've got that new filter in there, so I'm wondering what this thing caught. This is You Can Do It Dave, and I'm building a hobbit home.